On paper, Dallas is the living embodiment of the American dream, a city of gleaming skyscrapers, bustling business hubs, and boundless career opportunities. But like the stillness of the Texas desert, what seems calm and prosperous from afar hides a storm beneath the heat and glare. Beneath the rush of luxury cars and the glow of high-end restaurants, you'll find worn-out tents huddled under freeway overpasses. These makeshift shelters are the only protection from the relentless Texas sun. On the same streets where million-dollar deals are made, some people are simply fighting to survive. Dallas promises everything, but for many, it can take everything away. So what's the real story they don't tell you about life in this city?
To help get people off the streets?
No, I don't believe it will. And the $500 fines, you could take all those and put them in homeless court and get it all dismissed anyway.
Located in North Texas, Dallas spans over 350 square miles and is home to more than 1.3 million people. It's the 9th largest city in the U.S. and a booming center for finance, tech, and Southern culture. Like many major cities, it can make you rich or strip your life down to nothing. Because Dallas is full of contrasts, it's home to billionaires and Fortune 500 companies. Yet, at the same time, over 3,500 people live without a roof over their heads. According to the Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance, homelessness has been rising in recent years, driven by skyrocketing housing costs and wages that just can't keep up. But this gap isn't just in the numbers. You can feel it in the layout of the city. In the north, neighborhoods like Highland Park and Preston Hollow shine with luxury homes, pristine parks, and top-tier schools. Meanwhile, in the south, in places like South Dallas or Pleasant Grove, cracked roads, underfunded schools, struggling public services, and high crime rates tell a very different story. The homelessness crisis casts a long shadow beneath the city's towering skyline. Unlike coastal cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco, long associated with homelessness, Dallas has seen a sharp surge in just a few short years. And many of those now living on the streets aren't strangers to this city. They were once part of the working class, or even the middle class. The situation has also been fueled by a wave of undocumented immigrants. After crossing the southern border, many end up in Dallas without access to legal work or safe housing. Some find themselves living in tent encampments. Others sleep in their cars, uncertain what tomorrow will bring. One major factor driving this crisis? Texas's high property taxes. Unlike states with income tax, Texas leans heavily on property tax to fund public services. For lower-income families and retirees living on fixed incomes, that tax burden can be devastating. Many have lost homes they owned for decades, simply because they could no longer afford the annual bill. If winter kills quietly, Dallas summers come blazing. Temperatures often soar above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and heat waves can turn deadly. For the unhoused, this isn't just uncomfortable, it's life-threatening. Plastic tents trap the heat. Dehydration and heat stroke are constant risks. Air conditioning is just a dream. Even clean water can be hard to find. In recent years, the city has opened temporary cooling centers during extreme heat, but space is limited, and many unhoused residents avoid them due to trauma, shame, or fear of losing their only shelter. Dallas was built for drivers, not pedestrians. Yes, there's public transit, but it's minimal. The DART light rail system doesn't cover the full city, and the bus routes? Often unreliable and slow. Without a car, getting to work, a clinic, or even a grocery store becomes a major challenge. For people experiencing homelessness, this means even fewer chances to turn things around. A city that treats car ownership as a basic requirement is a city that leaves its most vulnerable behind. Ironically, in the midst of deep social challenges, Dallas still shines as a magnet for opportunity seekers. The cost of living, though rising, is still lower than in cities like New York or San Francisco. That alone draws people in. Major companies have been relocating to Dallas, lured by low taxes. And with them come new jobs, especially in tech, finance, and energy. Dallas also boasts a strong higher education system, home to universities like Southern Methodist and the University of Texas at Dallas. With the right skills and a bit of capital, the city still offers room to grow and thrive. Dallas is a city that knows how to have fun. A nighttime stroll through Deep Ellum hits all the senses. Bold murals on the walls, live music in the air, and hipster cafes serving nitro coffee and craft beer. In the design district, modern art galleries sit side by side with luxury boutiques and creative studios run by young artists. And if you're into sports, the AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, is nothing short of a shrine. Every weekend, it draws thousands under one massive roof. When it comes to food, Dallas doesn't hold back. You'll find everything from smoky Texas barbecue to gooey, spicy Tex-Mex. But the city also brings global flavors to the table, from foie gras in fine dining spots to omakase sushi on the 50th floor. Even in the suburbs, food trucks and farmers markets create spaces where flavor meets community. But not everyone gets to enjoy all this. Yes, Dallas is dynamic, but not everyone benefits from its momentum equally. For residents in areas like South Dallas or West Oak Cliff, where public transit is limited and basic infrastructure often lacking, access to entertainment, dining, or even public spaces can feel like a luxury. Most social destinations assume one thing: you own a car. Dallas's public transit system, centered around the DART network, is often criticized as too limited and unreliable to serve the entire population. So if you can't afford a car, distance becomes an invisible wall, keeping you disconnected from the city's vibrant social life. Among the marginalized, the most excluded group is the homeless. One thing rarely addressed in the city's official narrative is social stigma. Homeless individuals in Dallas don't just face the harshness of the streets and extreme weather, they also carry the weight of society's judgment. They're often seen not as fellow residents, but as visual nuisances, as a problem to be hidden away from downtown and the business districts. Many are turned away when they try to seek help. Some communities, and even religious institutions, oppose the presence of shelters or emergency services in their neighborhoods. The usual reasons? Safety concerns, or fears about property values dropping. But the truth is far more complex. Many homeless individuals are victims of sudden economic crises, job loss, unaffordable medical bills, or unresolved trauma. In that context, labels like lazy or lifestyle choice are not just unfair. They're another form of violence after losing everything. Sadly, this stigma seeps into policy too. Shelters often require government IDs or drug tests, hurdles many can't clear. Some facilities separate people by gender or mental health status, making it even harder for those with special needs to find help. Still, even in the toughest conditions, there's a flicker of hope. Organizations like the Bridge Homeless Recovery Center and City Square continue to provide meals, healthcare, and shelter. The Dallas REAL Time Rapid Rehousing Initiative is working to move thousands off the streets and into permanent housing using a data-driven, cross-agency approach. But this is just the beginning. Without systemic change, these efforts are like patching a sinking boat. economic inequality, a lack of affordable housing, and a missing social safety net are still massive obstacles. Dallas is a city with two faces. One offers big dreams, career success, and fast-paced urban life. The other reveals deep inequality, tents behind billboards, and lives left behind. This isn't a story of a city that has failed. It's a story of a city standing at a crossroads. Will it remain a symbol of individual success, or become a home for anyone seeking a life of dignity? Because in Dallas, as in many major American cities, the line between winning big and losing everything is razor thin.